Head coach Geno Auriemma, senior Breanna Stewart, and freshman Katie Lou Samuelson. Okay, we're going to open with a statement from the head coach. Coach.
Thank you. Well, I mean, there's not much to say. You kind of saw, those first 10 minutes. It's about as good a way as you can to start it. Start a game, start a tournament, and not having played in 12 days, you don't know what you're going to get when you come out. But this team is pretty locked in. They're pretty focused on what we're trying to do, what the task ahead of us is, and we talked a lot about don't look ahead. It'll be here. And we could capture some of that, the first 10 minutes today and bring it to Monday. We'll be all right.
Okay, questions for the student athletes. We'll start over here.
I felt pretty good. I think we all got off to a good start and a good run, and I think our energy was really high, so that just made it a lot easier for us to go on a run, and we really made our defense transition into offense. So.
In the back.
I think I feel more confident and comfortable on the court, and I know that I can do a lot of things to help out my team, and I'm going to have to do that now that it's tournament time. It's now or never, so I'm just trying to keep building on what I've done and just not let up.
John, and then in the front.
I really didn't know. I think that I blocked shots in high school and that kind of thing, but with Rebecca Lobo being number one, she blocked a lot of shots and she did it in fewer games. So I think that she still holds that record if you look at it that way. But just being active defensively, and I think blocking shots is a lot of fun.
Okay, we're going to go to Pat and then Rich.
We didn't really focus on it. Obviously, we wanted to come out and really, play hard right from the start, push things right from the start. But, the entire team was excited. When it comes to NCAA tournament time, you don't have to get anyone up for a game. Everyone's ready to play, and, we came out looking like we couldn't wait to play.
Okay, Rich, and then Marvin.
Rich, Stewie, how is it that you guys were able to block out all the outside stuff and remain locked in on going in?
We don't listen to you guys too much. No, but I think that there's obviously a lot going on, and especially when the NCAA tournament starts, we have an even bigger spotlight on our team. Just because we're UConn, what we're hoping to do, planning to do, and I think the best way we block it out is, once we step on the court, we know that this is our time. Get back into the mental state of mind that, of what we're trying to do with the team individually and not worry about anything else.
Marvin, and then I'll come back.
This week, UConn is UConn. Everybody knows, the pace you guys play, athleticism. What's the main thing you guys stress in your game plan week after week?
I would say the biggest thing that we stress in our game plan is just the way we pressure them defensively. If we're able to get however many steals we got tonight and force teams into kind of a little bit frazzled offensively, we were able to get a lot of transition baskets, and they were hesitant on offense.
Rich.
So do you have to buy into this focus thing immediately when you get to UConn?
Yeah, you definitely have to be focused and ready to go because it's not easy, and you know that you're not going to get on the court if you don't produce in practice, consistently work hard, and that the coaches need to trust you before that you can be out there. And more importantly, your teammates need to be able to trust you.
All the way in the back.
Breanna, going back to when you first started playing AAU basketball, what was it about those early years that had pushed you, and what is it about the passion for the game that has pushed you to play the way you did today?
It's a throwback. I think when you think of AAU basketball, you think of, having fun. You're there with your friends, people that you grew up with, and you're going on the court and just having fun. I think that, when you look at that to today's game, that's what we wanted to do. When you're in the NCAA tournament, there's a lot of, things you could look at, but I think the most important is just to go out and have fun, and, everything else seems to fall in place.
Anything else? Okay, at this time, you are free to go back to the locker room. Okay, we'll now take questions for the head coach. We'll start here and then come in the front.
Geno, the same word for that. I just wanted to ask, what did it mean to be part of Coach Sal's last game? What did you say to him when you guys before the court, before and after?
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned this yesterday, but I think when you're in that situation where you've coached that many years and you've been in the NCAA tournament a bunch of times, I think that you kind of resign yourself to, where are we going this year in the tournament? Notre Dame, Connecticut, you're going to get a really tough assignment. And I think Sal understands that, obviously. And, before the game, we just talked about some of the things that he's been able to accomplish in his career, and how, playing us is not easy for some of the teams that are so-called top 10 teams in the country, much less, for a team that's not as talented. And we just talked about Charlie, talked about his son and what's coming next for him and where the program is going. And, I want to see the kid do well. So that was pretty much it right there.
We're going to go in the front and then the back.
Were you ever concerned at all that this team wouldn't have this focus they have?
No. I never worried about that. Maybe there's hey, if we don't make enough shots early on, are we going to be a little bit of a hurry? Are we going to be pressing a little bit? Are we going to try to, are we going to try to blow them out in the first 5 minutes? And then if it doesn't, are we going to be, a little too anxious? But I don't worry about them coming out lackadaisical or anything like that. One of the things that we did talk about is, and I told them right up front, I said, look, I know it's different in women's basketball because of the disparity of talent, obviously. But my kids are really huge basketball fans, and I know they watch a lot of basketball on television. So when I explained to them, like, do you know how a 15 seed beats a 2 seed? Well, one, the 15 seed has to play their ass off. That's number one. But even more important, the number 2 seed has to have a bad day. Like they just maybe don't come ready right away and they get down early, or maybe they just don't bring that killer instinct that day, or maybe they're looking to the next game, or they gave the 15 seed hope early. I said, that's what happens in tournament games. You have an opportunity to go out and establish yourself in the game, and you have to do it early. And if you do that, then just stay in that mode. And generally speaking, the team that's got more talent, if they play harder and they execute, is going to win. And, obviously I told them we're a better team. We have more talent. If we play harder than them and we execute better than them, we're going to win. That's all.
In the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those. Those 10 minutes were pretty, I didn't know we could do that. That we sat on the bench looking at each other going, I didn't know we were capable of doing that after not playing for 12 days. I could see if it was, your third game that week or you're in a row, but we haven't played in 12 days. So obviously Robert Morris helped because they struggled handling the ball against our pressure, and that made it a little bit easier. You could see as they started settling in towards later in the game, they got real comfortable. And that was kind of good to see too. See those kids, go home and show everybody, them knocking down shots at Gamble, getting a backdoor layup, all that cool stuff that you practice every day, and for it to work, not that we're any different than anybody else, but then go home and see that team ain't that good. We got 3 backdoor layups, 9 threes. How many threes they make? 9. So they ain't that good. So that's good. So there's a lot of stuff going on today. That was really good.
Okay, just about 15 minutes left on the open locker room. Question in front.
Coach, you always said being consistent. It's easy to say that. UConn every tournament, every round, it seems like you guys have stepped it up. Is it a new Rocky speech you give your kid?
No.
You make them stay consistent and focused at the same time.
Yeah, those speeches, I'm not big on those. I don't really understand the value of them. Especially if you use them all the time and they just go away, So kids today are pretty smart too. It's not like back in the day. It's funny. I used to coach a JV boys basketball team in high school. And I remember before every game, and Phil Martelli was the head coach. They just had a big win last night against Cincinnati. Phil was the head coach. And I remember I had the JV team. And I remember I had those guys believing that the next game was going to move us up in the rankings, that we were one game out of first place, and then we won that game. And then the next game we played, I said, this is for first place. These guys are right now, our biggest competition. There was no league, no record. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. But the kids thought that there was actual standings for JV teams. So you could lie to them back then. Today, there's so much out there that I can't come out and say to my guys, hey, guys, listen, Team A, man, we got our hands full tonight. I don't know that we can, So you got to save those for when it's really true. And even when it's really true, I'm reluctant to go down that road anymore. I just, I talk to them more like adults now instead of kids. And they kind of appreciate that. I'm honest with them.
Anything else for Coach? In the back.
All right. Oh. Yeah, she makes about 100 of them every day in practice. And one day I told her, I said, stop shooting those. And she looked at me like, why can't I practice these? I said, what's the point if you're not going to shoot them in the game? She goes, I said, well, if I thought you were going to shoot in the game, I'd put you in earlier. She goes, if you put me in, I'll make one. I said, all right, we'll see. And we talked a lot about, she's young and she's really talented. And I tried to explain to her, I said, you know how easy it is to get double figures in a college game? You make 1 3 and 2 free throws. That's 5 points. You make 1 3 and 2 free throws in the second half. That's 5 points. That's 10. That's not counting an offensive rebound, stick it back up, draft. That's nothing. So if you don't get double figures every game, I say you shouldn't even ask me to go in the game. What she have today?
14.
14 and 9. Good. Good. She's capable of doing that every night. She only played 21 minutes. Now her handlers or somebody from back home in St. Louis will call me and say, if you played her 40 minutes, she'd be an All-American. So I got to be careful and not giving her too much too soon.
Are we right here? Yep.
Yes, Harry. See what I mean? They're so used to us winning. Now they want to talk about my shoes. You mean the sneakers my team is wearing? They're like the latest, coolest KDs. They're the coolest ones. We're the only team in America that has them, by the way. So all those other writers that aren't here, they didn't get it. We're the only team in America wearing those, men or women's basketball, those new KDs. The ones I have? Oh, I got those a while back from my friends that at Nike and Kohan. And my foot's been bothering me the last couple weeks. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to wear the most comfortable shoes I have. And these are the most comfortable shoes I have. Luckily, I have them in a couple different colors, so you'll be seeing more of them. But look at Craig Sager back there. Look at that. We got our own.
So the headline will be Geno
Playing through pain. Playing through pain.
Okay. All right.